never have this one off.
Yeah. Well.
So. All right. So, if y'all saw the form update, I did come up with gold and silver and items for you from the last encounters that you took.
That you did.
If not, on the home screen, I have it there in a kind of shortened, condensed version as well from where you should be on Roll20 right now.
Mm-hmm.
With the red text. So
Yes.
let me pull out.
So is this like the whole pool? Like, this is what we all got collectively?
Yeah, because
Okay.
if you see, you got I divvied it out to about 15 gold pieces a piece, which is 60 total.
Mm.
And then I decided to, because it was just simple enough, and I know you guys are not assholes to each other, so
No.
so
Well,
you got
except for
15 gold
Oscar and me.
pieces. Yeah. So you all got 15 gold pieces apiece, 17 silver, and collectively you have 3 potions. I'll let you all. Technically, you got 4 potions total, but there's 3 normal potions of healing and then 1 greater potion of healing. I'll let you all divvy that out as you see fit. You also found 1 vial of poison on one of the orcs. Probably one of the ones that was shooting a crossbow. He just never got a chance to use it because you didn't look as bad as he thought you were going to be. You also found a orc that had a kind of battered gold band ring in one of his pockets. But yeah, that's where you all stand right now on money, in conjunction with what you already had. Just make note of that. I am not responsible for keeping up with the gold. I'll leave that to you all.
Yeah, I'm writing all this down.
I think Gothy needs the wait, what's it called? The potion of greater healing.
And then Ink should get the 3 potions of healing.
me and Eldon will be fine.
Yeah, I could just caress my forehead.
Well, I will leave that up to you all, so y'all can dig that out.
Oscar,
But
write down you have 1 potion of greater healing.
Oh, do I have to write that in big letters, or can I write that in small letters?
No,
You can
you
write
need
it.
to write that where it takes up like 2 pages, bud.
San, I did that with 1 door.
we're gonna buy you a banner so you can have it over your desk.
Oh, hell
Oh,
yes.
I can say 1 door.
Alright, so... Alright, cool. The character sheet I can put, now that I have 25 gold and 17 SP.
Yep, silver pieces and gold pieces. Alright, I'm just gonna quickly go over some of the stuff from last time. I'm not gonna you ended up fighting just y'all, about 6 orcs and 1 hobgoblin. Jenkins and Grinroll took out some baddies himself. In total, I think there was 11 total bad guys, maybe 10, because I think I might have thrown 1 in, but didn't actually put him into play. I don't remember, so. But totally, Ink did a total of 57 points of damage. Eldon, you did 22 points of damage.
Dear
Oscar,
God.
you did 15. And Onai, you did 8.
Woo!
But Onai
So,
and
play the
Eldon
game
also-
goes to Ink.
Yes.
All 4 cards go to
True.
Ink if we were going off of
I
Overwatch
got
thing.
Excuse me, I got the
Yeah.
healing card. You
I was
get
about
out
to
of
say. I was about to say. Onai probably has the healing.
That
card.
is
I did
true.
Not keep track of heal. Eldon, you also healed. Oscar, I don't know what. The
Oscar has the death card.
Oh, Oscar gets, I don't know.
He gets a pat on the
Most
back.
Bullshit
You get a
set.
participation medal.
Most...
I don't know, he did get his pink tutu, so I think that's trophy.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
I got a new skin. There you go.
Hashtag sponsored.
I am changing the screens on you guys. This is a temporary placeholder for the Lotusts.
Okay.
So when we last left you all, you were just helped Jenkins deliver all of his
Oh,
goods
sweet.
to Talon and Hubert, at the Cinder's Quill and the Unicorn's Magical Oddities. You found yourselves in probably the most popular tavern in within Ryan's Heart, known as the Lotus, ran by the infamous Richard, a very large man and the older brother of Major Stonearm that y'all met at Grayson's Hold. While here, you're partaking in a bunch of good booze or some good cucumber and fruit water.
Yes.
Oscar has taken a pot of ale over to a kind of a shady figure that
Not a pint
you
of
have
pot.
learned. Yeah. That you learned goes by the name of Elandi. And Onai, you
Hi.
heard a tone, a song that was very familiar to you. It's a song that you knew very well. It was a song that you actually sang to your father in his final hours. And you ended up performing on stage with a young halfling. I say young. She's, has to be about the same age as your father. But she looks relatively young still.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me go ahead and put these two photos up real quick.
Oh. Yes.
Heck yeah.
And after your performance on you and Sybil have made it your way back to the table that you were sharing with Eldon and Ink. Oscar, you're sitting, or you're making your way across, and you just nestled into the bench where Mr. Elandi is sitting.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna roll a dice, and we're gonna see who goes first.
boy.
I can let Wolf go first. I don't mind.
Yes.
I was gonna say you.
I can let Onai.
Eldon is interested in what Onai has to say
I was gonna say
because
you can go
our
first,
little
but-
person might explode.
No. After you.
No.
No. After you.
So
Are we gonna have a no war?
No, Wolf goes first.
yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty, so we're sitting at the table with Eldon, Ink, Onai, and a halfling that introduces herself as Sybil Asana. She's about just slightly shorter than you, Onai, with vibrant red hair and a purple shawl around her neck. And all of you around the table can see that she's got a little ferret, a little ginger-colored ferret that's crawling up around her shoulders. So
Eldon hates ferrets and is terrified of said ferret.
Oh, and I really wants to pet it. She's like resisting the
Eldon
urge.
is like eyeing it like he's the most fearsome foe he has ever fought in his life. He is terrified of this thing.
I feel like Onai is like reaching to pet it and then grabbing her wrist and pulling it back.
She's like, I have to calm down. Deep breaths.
As you all sit down, a waitress comes up and places a mug of ale in front of Sybil. Sybil just thanks the nice woman. I'm trying to remember what her name is. She goes, "Thank you, Linda." And Linda nods her head and says, "This will go on your tab as always. Make sure you pay by the end of the week, and we'll not have any issues." And she just kind of moseys around, starts cleaning up after some of the other patrons that have come and gone, taking orders out to everyone else. But everyone, especially Onai, is definitely focused on Sybil at the moment. So she takes a big swig of her drink and slams it down on the table. She looks directly at you and she goes something like,
I must say, the gulps though made me so captivated. That was like, I was like actually like, holy shit.
That was 10 out
He's
of 10.
going all out.
Truly.
I love it. I really
Yeah,
loved it.
that's not mocking anyway. That's 10 out of 10.
No, that was like on par. I was like, oh man, he's going.
Oh, an extra beer for our D. Yeah.
Dude, you just
All for gulp sounds.
Dude, you just captivated me with that gulp. That's it.
Oh
Would
my,
have thought.
oh my God, we're idiots. Okay.
Oh boy.
So Sybil looks at you, kind of a smirk on her face, and she says, "So, what is the oldest daughter of Arin doing in these neck of the woods?"
I am. I wish I wasn't so nervous right now. Wow.
No need to be nervous, my dear. Just take a deep breath. Nothing to be nervous about.
Well, I'm traveling like my father once did.
Mm-hmm. You're actually slightly younger than whenever he made his way around these parts.
She nods. I don't know if you've heard, but a plague went over our village, and he didn't survive it. So after
my
he,
dear.
after
Yes, dear. She, sorry. There's a delay on my end, so.
don't worry, I do this a lot, especially to Goffy. So.
Yeah, you do.
After he passed, I decided I'd leave.
That's very admirable. Everyone needs a fresh start every now and then, especially after something like that. She does say, she goes on to continue to say, I did hear word of the plague. In fact, I was the one that motivated Richard to share his family's stock of herbs, and in fact, I delivered the ingredients to your village directly.
She smiles and thank you. Thank you.
Sybil says, I was definitely heartbroken to hear that I didn't make it in time for your father. But just knowing I was able to keep his legacy alive is more than what I could have hoped for.
She smiles and nods.
So, I'm sure you have many questions. Just looking at you, you're barely able to contain your own energy. You're quite literally bouncing your own seat, it looks like.
I thought you would never ask about questions.
Well, fire away. As she says that as she takes another swig of her ale.
Eldon is pretty scared watching Onai jump up and down. As even with her jumping, she barely comes up to his height of sitting.
For everybody listening, I wrote down questions as soon as the last session was over. I'm like, I have questions for this woman. Oh boy.
Alright, well, fire away.
I think my father mentioned you in Featherfall before, but he didn't really tell me that much. Could you tell me more about that?
Yeah, certainly. I'm not surprised to hear that he didn't talk too much about those he traveled with. They were... The group didn't leave on best of terms, to be honest with you. But I guess if you're really interested in knowing the art origins, I guess I should start at the beginning. And she kind of sits back a little bit and gets comfortable. The ferret kind of walks over onto the table and gets some of the nibbles of some bar nuts that have been laid out on the table by
Get
the
that thing
barmaid.
away from me.
Sybil looks over. Don't worry. He only bites evil men.
I'm
not-
worried.
And she kind of gets a gleam in her eye, and the weasel kind of just... Not the weasel, the ferret kind of sits up and just looks at you, cocks his head, and then goes over to Onai.
Oh, I guess she's
Oh dear God! Oh no! Don't touch it. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's dangerous.
Alright, so... Sybil looks back over at you and I. She just starts up a little tale. Well, your father and I were both orphans that lived on the streets of Zegryth, the capital here, and Revni. Many believe that we're actually from Kelowna and the kingdom to the south. It's a bigger city and has a lot more thoroughfare. So we kind of played it up that we weren't actually from Revney, mostly because we were orphans. Um, and you can already tell that I'm a halfling, so I'm usually smaller than most people in the cities anyway. But back when we were kids, well, your father and I were orphans on the street of Zegirith. Everyone just assumed we were from Kelowna, mostly because it was a larger city, and no one wants to listen to orphans from Zegirith. Even though I'm a halfling, when I was a child, I was a runt, even among halfling standards. In fact, your father saved me from a beating I received. In fact, he kept those who saw a little halfling girl and thought they could take advantage of me. He got in the way and protected me. Took me to a couple of brothel workers that he knew that could cast a few minor healing spells. And ever since then, he and I have been two peas in a pod, they say. They nursed me back to health, and ever since then, we've been protecting each other, doing everything we can to make a little coins to get food. Hell, we even made our own instruments at that time. And after watching a lot of the performers in the cities play, we thought we could do that. We weren't great at the beginning, and we ended up getting kicked out of the town square multiple times, but we always found somewhere else to play. Oh, your father, he was always such a kind soul. Loved to sing, loved to play music, and always loved to help those less fortunate than himself. I was looking out for me and him. I'm sure you never saw, but your father, even with his kindness, he did have a temper whenever he saw those being taken advantage of.
I don't think I've ever seen.
It's probably for the best. He has put fear into many of thugs. Always protecting the brothel workers from those who went a little too far, or those who like to pick on the orphans in the city. But that's neither here nor there. Eventually, we got enough coin to buy real instruments, and we kept getting better and better at singing and dancing and playing music. Eventually, during one of the festivals in Zegirith, we got the attention of a master bard. He took us under his wing and taught us everything there was to know about the College of Lore, of finding stories, writing them down, and retelling them over and over again so they're not lost to the times. Because not every story is worth being written down by scholars. So it's up to us to keep the tradition alive and make sure even this minor adventures are still known.
Of course.
I'm sure you got a tale or two of your own that you've gathered by now. Ever thought about sharing that with other bards so they can be passed on yourself?
I have.
Have you gotten the opportunity, my dear?
She shakes her head.
Yes or no?
She shakes her head no.
Okay.
Sorry,
really? Oda shakes her head in a circle.
No, I usually say shake your head for no or just nod for yes.
Gotcha. Well, she kind of smiles and that says and goes on to suggest, one of these days we'll have to catch you up, and I'll be more than happy to listen to the tales that you have and pass them on in my travels.
That would
Although
be awesome.
She kind of laughs and say, "Oh, so much energy and so much light."
I can't even right now.
Do you have any other questions, dear?
Yes, I do.
Alrighty.
It's just a matter of sorting through them in my head and trying to get my thoughts straight.
She offers you a little bit of her ale, and maybe this will calm you down.
Last time I I drank anything alcoholic, things did not go well.
Yeah, she wound up in a shopping cart.
Sybil again just laughs her ass off.
Not that we know what shopping carts are, but she wound up in one.
This is a tale I must hear later.
I wound up in a tutu, even though you can talk to me because I'm nowhere near you.
So Eldon's actually just sitting there swashing around his drink, listening very intently to this conversation because he has questions too.
Are you doing anything while this conversation is going on?
I'm just looking around and listening to the story, of course. So,
Are you scribbling anything down, or are you just taking everything in?
right now, I'm just taking everything in.
Okay.
I'm reading through my question. I'm reading through the questions, so I'm like trying to be fast about it, but most of them are answered at this point.
Eldon finds it funny that Onai is talking about written down questions.
No, I didn't say that in game.
He wonders how much she's actually had to drink that she hasn't told anybody about.
She's looking at her hand and she's actually written down a question on her hand. In the short time it took them to walk from the stage to the table.
Oh, with how hyper you are, I can believe it. All right, I'm gonna stop bothering you now.
Oh boy. Was there anybody else in the troop?
We had several. Many were regulars. We had a few that came and left as they pleased. But your father and I, we are the actual founders of Featherfall.
Yeah.
We actually got an inspiration after the spell itself, the Featherfall spell. We were always on rock bottom, and after we started playing our music, we felt like we were on cloud 9 together. And we were always afraid that we would crash and fall back down to where we started. We weren't truly afraid, we just didn't want to go there. So, to give ourselves inspiration, we decided to call ourselves Featherfall.
That's so cool.
And she kind of points to an emblem on her chest, and on her chest she wears a brooch. It's a eagle feather surrounded by a crescent moon.
I love it already.
We had other members. Like I said, we had a few that were regulars. We had Egan Talent. We had Christopher Longnight. Nikita Crestenfall. We had Ty Lightfoot, and we had many that came and left. Too many names to really keep track of.
Yeah.
But I'm better with faces, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
If I saw them, I would know them in a heartbeat. Some of them we actually kicked out because they were using us to steal money from the people they were playing for.
Those kind of people suck.
Agreed, and they got what they deserved from your father. Like I said, he had a bit of a temper at times when he was young.
Which I still can't believe.
Oh, trust me. Even the nicest of people can have a side of them that turns evil at certain provocations.
True.
Your father, like I said, he really cared for the less fortunate. You know, we came from nothing, so he wanted to protect those who still were in nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But he definitely turned a new leaf after he met your mother. I wasn't really happy about it, mind you. For the longest time, it had just been me and him.
Mm-hmm.
And once your mother came into the picture, before they were actually married, it did cause a lot of tension in the group.
What kind of tension?
She kind of looks a little sheepish, and she kind of gets red a little bit. And it's like, I think you can probably put 2 and 2 together. My young woman. It was all one-sided. Your father was always a gentleman to every woman he met, even men. But ultimately, he met your mother, and off they went, essentially. I wasn't happy about it, but I realized that it was a one-sided sort of thing. He would always see me as his best friend and little sister.
That's sad. Oof.
But you get over it. Wounds like that heal with time. Although your mother still doesn't like me very much, which is the main reason why I wasn't actually at the funeral. I was there, but not close enough to where she would see me. She was already hurting enough, and I didn't want to open up old wounds.
Ona looks like, oh, trust me, I know she was hurting a lot. Goodness gracious, all these questions have been answered. I have like one more that's completely unrelated.
Eldon is sitting at the edge of his seat waiting to ask some stuff. He's just waiting. And waiting.
That's really weird. This is really off topic. But
Okay.
that fiddle in the Unicorn's Oddities, do you know anything about that? Because that sounded really cool.
Sybil laughs and she said, many bards have held that fiddle. I held it for a little while. It wasn't to my taste. I prefer the flute and the drums, but it's a powerful tool in the right hands. As long as the fiddle accepts you, that is. Otherwise, you're gonna have a nightmare on your hands.
I don't know why it intrigued me that much. It shouldn't, because I'm pretty sure it could really hurt me.
As long as you take the time to get to know the fiddle itself, and the fiddle accepts you, you will definitely know when it accepts you.
Oh, it just sounds amazing.
Well, if it does fancy you, it will definitely sit there and aid you. If I remember right, it does allow you to cast a few spells. I'm not entirely sure if I remember what spells they were. I think it's different for every bard. For me, it did allow me to cast an extra Cure Wounds every now and then. It came in handy whenever the patrons got in a bar fight here.
It would come very much in handy with this group I have here.
Sybil sizes up Eldon and ink, kind of sees a few bandages on Eldon, and then
Eldon
she also
slightly
looks-
flexes his right arm so that she can see his muscles.
Ona glares at Eldon.
Sybil looks at you and smiles, and then looks over at Richard. Said, "I think he has you beat."
Eldon takes a giant gulp out of his pint.
Ona's head's on the table and she's laughing so hard.
Just imagine, like, me and Alandi being awesome buds by now, like, watching you guys and judging from a distance.
Oh.
Ona's like, oh, by the way, these two don't lose much health as our Goliath over there. You wouldn't believe a Goliath could lose so much health, but oh my goodness.
Sybil looks over in the direction you're talking about, and she goes, "Well, he is a big target. He doesn't seem to be wearing too much armor."
No, he's wearing a fucking tutu.
The tutu's below the table, so she can't see it from this point of view, and she didn't see you
That's
come
disappointing.
in. So I'm sure once she sees it, she'll get a massive kick out of it. So,
Alright, Ona, you done?
I think so. I mean, that's all the questions I have in my sheet.
All
Say that
right.
in character.
So,
Sybil's like, "Do you really have questions written down, dear?"
No, you didn't hear that.
of course not.
Well, I'm sure you'll run into some of the other members. I know a few of them kick around a couple of the taverns and trading posts around Revney. If you see any of them, please tell them I say hi.
I
Tell them
will.
they better get their ass down over here for the festival this year. Otherwise, I'll come and drag their ass back myself.
I'll help.
Oh.
Good. Some of them I might need a little help. Stubborn pricks.
Well, Eldon looks over at Onai, gets real serious, and says, "Sounds like your father was truly an honorable man."
She nods.
And then
What?
he looks over at Sybil, gets very, very serious, and says, "Was her dad near any of the battles of the Great War?"
There were several bards that fought in the war. I know he played a support role in a couple of skirmishes, but he was never on the front lines. Featherfall at the time was drafted to kind of walk the lands and kind of be like a wandering guard, protecting the small towns here and there in case any of the demons or undead managed to slip by. So we were kind of a secondary backup, so to speak. But
Alright.
if I remember right, he did take a few odd jobs here and there for the military. We never held military rank, thankfully, so we could come and go as we please. We were more like mercenaries, if you will.
So he would leave for extended periods of time by himself.
There were times, yes. And he would always come back slightly beat up, a little haunted at times, but after playing a few rounds for whatever town we were in, he always was back to himself.
Was the cause of this disease that struck Onai's village ever determined?
No one knows where it came from or how it came to be.
Does it have...
It's-
No,
Go
go
ahead.
for it. Does it have any similarities to the disease that seems to be going on now with the undead?
Not really. It seems like those who were afflicted in Onai's village it was just a simple sickness. Not one that could be cured by typical magic. It needed special herbs, special concoctions, so to speak. But the affliction going on like it did once ago and then what is kind of happening now, it does seem to be related, but not exactly the same. It's not as quick, what's going on now.
Not as quick.
But I'll be honest with you, this is what you've probably heard rumors about town is not uncommon in these parts. Just little afflictions like this have come and gone over the years. Right now, what's more peculiar are the beasts in the woods. Every creature imaginable is becoming more hostile, even. I've seen animals that normally eat nothing but grass, attacking people and eating their flesh, attacking each other and eating flesh of other creatures. Wolves have gotten larger and more territorial. They're becoming bolder and some of them have even ventured into town in the past couple of weeks. But our rangers seem to be doing a good job keeping them at bay and keeping everyone fed with some really delicious meat, surprisingly.
Have any of your rangers been able to determine anything about what's going on?
No, some of them feel there could be some of the more experienced ones, especially Miss Elena. She seems to believe there could be druidic magic afoot somewhere. She gets traces of it here and there, but nothing concrete. And she starts on a trail and it disappears.
So nobody's really ventured out too far.
They venture out a pretty good distance, and let me pull up something real quick. Show. There we go. Now, if you'll pull up the map real quick, everyone. Where she's talking about is the plains to the west and the woods to the southwest a little bit. The woods, there are more trees, closer to Ryan's Heart, but they're not as dense as the Murrowwood. And so I didn't feel like the need to put them on the map, so to speak. But they're all across the main road heading west. And she kind of pulls out her own little map and showing you this. She goes, we have rangers patrolling the main road all the way to Velen. We got a few of them that venture out into the Murrow Woods, but the Murrow Woods it's usually a dangerous place. Even the beasts seem to avoid it at times. I know
the rangers have been trained to engage in such combat.
The rangers here have. Many of them were the original protectors of this land before the Legion of the Iron Lords was formed. They were the original peacekeeping force that traveled the land. All right, and then as a DM, the rangers here are more like the rangers in Lord of the Rings that Strider was a part of.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to figure out. So, and
I
then
didn't watch Lord of the Rings when I was 6.
so no, okay, that kind of gets what I was trying to get at.
So the rangers here, you get the feeling that they are more like a militia. They don't really answer to anyone. They're protectors of the people and the nature. They try to keep a natural balance of things.
Okay. What Margaret Everlight mentioned a lot about what was going on. What part does she play in the defense, or does she just stay around town and gather information?
Young Margaret is one of the main city guards. She volunteered whenever she was in her teens. She took inspiration from her father, who serves in the military garrison to the south. Her family's have always served, and she was the only child. And sadly enough, she wasn't a male, but she has a fighting spirit that I have not seen in quite many generations of her family. But she takes pride in protecting the city itself.
Has she ever ventured out, or does she stay in the city?
The city guard, they do venture out from time to time, but the rangers are doing such a great job right now that the city militia can focus on their normal duties within the city right now.
Are there any rangers? I'm asking this kind of in character and out of character.
Okay.
Are there any rangers here that I can talk to?
She looks kind of around outside to see what time of day it is, and it's quite late in the evening. And she says, many of the rangers have probably gone home for the evening to rest and be with their families before they head out at first light. I know that the Earl of Ryan's Heart is making his rounds tomorrow, and he's the one that has been working. He's been coordinating with the rangers as well as the militia here, the local garrison that we have, to make sure that everyone is not getting in each other's way, so to speak. But I'm sure you could find a couple of rangers here and there. And she looks around the tavern, doesn't see anyone that stands out as one of the rangers. She kind of like, it still might be too early in the night for any of the rangers to actually come into the taverns, or they might have just had a long day and decided to just head home instead of getting a drink tonight. Okay. And they do that from time to time.
Eldon is satisfied for now. Goes back to his drink. He's had questions answered that he was looking for, so he looks over at Ink.
Sybil, while you're doing that, Sybil looks at you, Eldon, and she says, my young paladin, you, how do I want to say this as a DM? Please take care of my dear friend's child. She's all that. Her and her sister are all that remains of my dear friend. And if you don't take care of her, I will end you.
No need to worry. I fully intend to protect this little innocent, blindly innocent elf from herself and from others.
On that
Thanks, but you let me die.
Eldon looks over at Oscar and goes, "Shut up, you're drunk."
Go to bed, Oscar.
But then he looks back at Onai and nods and kind of just like an approving look of her of, yeah, I'm gonna protect you from, yeah, like I said, yourself, and yeah.
Onai rolls her eyes at the whole innocent stuff, but smiles at him anyways. Like,
Sybil
Thank
kind of
you.
smirks and looks at you with a pointed look, and she says, "Don't worry, dear. Your father was the same way."
Eldon laughs and yeah.
I was told by everyone in the village I would like him in many ways.
Alright.
Then Eldon,
So-
he looks over at Ink and he's kind of curious as to what she's been doing because he knows she is probably the most observant out of anybody in the group.
Yeah, I've been just looking around, listening obviously to everybody, but keeping my eyes peeled, for just the general feel of the atmosphere and what everyone's doing, wondering what the hell Oscar's doing over there. Keeping tabs on everybody.
So you're not like on edge about anything, right? Like you're completely
I don't know, DM, am I?
calm.
Roll a perception check real quick.
Yeah, is Ink like is because I would imagine Eldon being, a warrior should be able to detect if she's off.
No,
I am completely at ease.
she's quite enjoying herself. She
All right.
actually spider senses are not kicking in right now.
Well, if she has a 24 perception and she's at ease, Eldon's pretty relaxed.
No, actually, she actually rolled the 8, so she's
Oh.
not rolling with advantage. So she did not get that 24. She only got the 8. So, but you're welcome to kind of roll your own.
I would,
perception check.
I would like to look around at these people as well. So let me. I know I should probably state something suspicious. I'm looking just for anything that is out of place at a bar. Not really if people are looking.
I
off.
see you moving that waitress.
Yeah. And I don't see anything except my beer.
What if I can see something?
All right. So Eldon got a 6, so he sees his beer. And that's all that really matters, I guess, at the moment.
I'm quite alright, dear. You can go tend to everybody else.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just okay. I was prepared for this. I am distracted by this ferret. This ferret's adorable.
And Eldon looks at the ferret again and goes,
That
"Oh,
everywhere.
the spawn of Satan is still here? Later."
Can I make a perception just to see if I'm in danger with this chat?
Eldon's gonna sit
you're-
right
you're
here so that
Hold on,
he's
hold
closer
on.
to Oscar.
Am I
not
able
a
to,
critical.
or should I just let it play out?
You just let it play out. You're good right now.
Okay.
Bye, Eldon.
Well, Eldon
it's
has
too-
left
it's too
because of the
sketch.
ferret, and he's going to be closer to Oscar, so that if anything
Okay.
seems to start to happen, he can jump in.
I feel
Otherwise,
like you
he's just
should
going to
sit.
chill there.
I feel like
And-
you should just sit around there.
Sure, I'll go chill over there.
Just so it doesn't look suspicious, you know
No,
what I mean?
no,
Like
I got you.
as if you realize all right, I'll keep my distance.
Yeah, but I want to be there because I don't really trust this guy. Yeah, thank you for the refill on the drink. But that's what Eldon is doing now. He is
Well,
satisfied that Onai is safe. He's satisfied with that conversation, and he is watching the guy that is talking to Oscar.
The
Oscar's
other thing
across from.
is, I wanted you to be there because now you're in eye view of Oscar,
Yes.
not of him. So if
Yes,
anything,
I see.
if shit hits the fan, Oscar will say.
Yep. Works for me.
Okay.
We're on the same page.
So, we're going back in time a little bit, because as Onai was sitting down with Sybil, Oscar was making his way over to the guy. So,
That was
Yeah,
the
let's-
exact sound effect that was
Eldon
in
is
my head.
still back at the table right
Oh
now.
crap. Okay. You're on your own, Oscar. I
Yep.
broke the first rule of time travel, it seems, so
Yep.
That's no problem.
if you need anything, holler.
All right. So
I think
if
I'm
everyone's okay with Sybil at the moment, we're gonna.
As long as
Just
Ink
back-
doesn't have anything, I don't want to be bypassing
good.
Jess.
I'm just hanging out.
Alright, cool.
Although you are interested, Ink, in you kind of see like a little bob of hair over the counter, and every now and then, right about here, you see someone that usually pops up something like a drink or something in front of the gentleman here and any other patrons along the bar. You saw Richard kind of pat something on the head and see someone sweat out his hands, and
And someone just laugh.
Oh my god!
Yes, I did.
That's the voice for this character.
It is. I love it, Max. I love this. Sold. Or, yeah.
We got a Goliath that sounds like a fucking pipsqueak, and then we got the little
Uh-huh.
that sounds like he should be a Goliath.
no, that laugh came from Richard.
Okay.
Okay. But
Okay.
still,
Makes sense.
Oh.
But so that's all you see. Just see, you can assume that it's one of the bar hands making their way behind the bar. You kind of see a cask being carried overhead every now and then, back and forth. Other than that, everyone seems to be quiet. Although, roll another perception check for me, real quick.
Come on, high number. Oh, damn.
Okay, you very faintly hear pages turning.
Oh.
My ears perk up and my tail twitches in curiosity. Whatever's happening, I'm gonna try to locate where that's.
Eldon looks over very confused.
Why are you trying to
I ignore you, Eldon. I'm sorry. There's bigger fish.
I know you do. It's alright. We're still bros.
Okay, that's good.
All right, so we'll come back to that after a few minutes. So, Oscar, you make your way over to the table where, on your way in, you pass a very stout, very lean-looking dwarf wearing studded leather. He doesn't even look at you, but he kind of walks past you a little bit, not even intimidated by your height, and you watch him leave.
Yep.
Through the main door.
Bye.
And then you approach the
I have a
table
chat for you later, so just wait.
Do
So
any
you
of us
approach-
see this besides Oscar?
You all saw him.
Okay.
You all heard a little whispers of this man, and you kind of can infer that this guy is one of the local clerics responsible for maintaining the graveyard and helping those who are sick pass on over when it's their time.
Eldon wants to go talk to this guy too, but he's gonna sit here and wait for Oscar to get killed.
That'll wait.
Oh no, I think she's scary.
That conversation will wait.
Oh, it will. Yeah, I'm gonna sit here and
I'll
wait for you to
go
get
with
killed.
on that one.
All right,
Go
cool.
with you on that one.
You and I will handle that one together.
Yeah.
Anyways,
All right, so you approach Alande. Your towering form kind of casts a shadow over him. He looks up and he's like, hello, my large friend. What can I do for you this evening?
Hi.
Alande kind of tilts his head, like, you have a softer voice than many Goliath I've ever met.
You know,
Where do you come from?
his balls haven't dropped yet. Eldon yells from across the bar.
I sit down with them and I say, "You like ale?"
He kind of is like, normally yes, but when I do business, I tend to prefer this. As he reaches down below the table and pulls up a little pinch of something, and he kind of sprinkles something into his drink, kind of like you would like you're putting salt.
Is that the alcoholic powder? Oscar's entire structure just stops, and he's just like,
Alande is like, how do you know about alcoholic powder? I thought I had the only batch around.
"Oh, my friend, I am saving up for a bag of that."
And realization kind of dawns on Alande. He's like, Oh, Hector
Uh-oh.
must have gotten a shipment himself. I would definitely suggest getting yourself a supply.
Yeah,
It is very handy.
it seems like it.
It's good whenever you want to have alcohol, but you need to keep a clear mind.
Have you tried it just powder yet?
He looks at you, kind of.
IRL was about to take a drink of beer and almost lost it.
Alonde kind of looks at you questioningly. He's like, "Now, why on earth would I do that?"
I don't know. Random thought. Mind you, Oscar's sitting here like Han Solo did in Star Wars with like his finger pointed in a gun formation. Like
He's not.
Solo shot first. That's all I gotta say.
Alonde is not intimidated by you, mostly because you're wearing a pink tutu.
No. I'm not doing it as if he can see it visually. I'm doing it like subtly, like just for my safety. Just
Gotcha.
So that
You're readying an Eldritch Blast.
Yes, I have.
Your
I have
middle
my
finger
hand
is
ready
extended?
for it.
Oh,
The
sweet.
middle finger, it's pointed like a gun, dude. It's like middle finger out, thumb up, ready to go. He's
Right
just
at
like,
his crotch. Going to go for the money shot right off the bat.
just ready. Anyway, continue the conversation.
Yes.
All right, I'm just gonna skip the alcoholic powder because that's not why I walked over here. Even though that changes my mind, but still, that's besides the point. I'm usually a jokester, but this time you struck something strange with me, and I need to talk to you.
All right. Do you have business then? What would you like to know?
Well, that big fella behind the bar, Armstrong, he told me that I had to remember his name. I'm sorry. Strong arm, Armstrong, Lance Armstrong. I don't know. Anyway,
It's Stone Arm.
Stone arm. Oh, Stone arm. Ah.
Well, at least you got the arm right.
I'll write that
50%.
down. I remember the arm because he was
50%
big.
still an F, though.
Anyway, he says that you're the one to come to make deals.
I've been known to make a deal or two, maybe 3 or 4. I lose track here and there. As you see, as he says that, as he kind of twirls a coin between his fingers on his right hand, which you see is heavily bandaged. You don't see him doing anything else other than flipping that coin with that hand. Every time he takes a sip, it's with his left hand. Anytime he takes a bite of food, it's with his left hand.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, what kind of business is it that you do?
I'm a trader of sorts, but I'm not held down by morals such as my good friend Hector.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not Hector, sorry. That was a slip on my part. Hubert.
Hubert. Okay.
One hair, huh?
So, yeah.
Yeah, Hubert.
Hector has 2.
Hector has 2. Oh, shit.
Oh, one for each of us, Oscar.
Yeah, right?
Damn, we don't have to share.
Yeah, I know Hubert.
Good man.
So you're just... Yeah, he's very nice and very, very generous and tolerable with my bullshit. Anyway, I just needed to know... You just do trading.
Trading of materials, trading of knowledge.
Okay.
I go where the coin takes me.
All right. Here, this leads me to my next question. There's a virus going around. It struck my village up north. I'm from outside of this region. It struck my home and my mother is sick.
Olade takes a sip of his drink.
Okay. What virus do you think could have hit? We in my village call it the hellish virus because we don't know. And it kills people within months.
Alande kind of sits there and contemplates. He crosses his arm for a moment. He kind of goes on to just ponder and kind of mutter a few things here to himself. And he's like, there are many viruses.
I can give you symptoms. I will give you a list. This is an offer that I will take, or this is an offer that I will accept if you give me anything for it.
He strokes his chin hair a little bit. He's got like a shortcut goatee.
Mm-hmm.
His yellow eyes just dig into your pupilless ones. His demeanor shifted a little bit. He's intrigued. He's no longer is he bored and relaxed. He's kind of shifted into like a full-on business mood, so to speak.
Is Eldon able to move at this point now the conversation is taking place?
Nope. This conversation is going on with Onai's conversation.
Okay, got you.
So yeah, I'll let you know whenever the two timelines converge.
All right, just so you know, can we just like point at those guys at that table over there and laugh at them for a little bit?
Alande, you see a little sparkle occurs in Alande's eyes, and he kind of looks over, raises his mug in the direction of the table, and just laughs with you.
I failed to mention that in my version of the timeline, I also flipped him off. Just wanted to get that out there.
Onai's back is to them. She doesn't even know what's happening. She looks at Eldon and thinks he flipped her off, and she's like, "What are you doing? What did I do to you?"
I sit back and I say, "Thank you. I needed that. Those people were bothering me earlier today in the bar." Anyway.
Wow!
I can't make it seem like I'm with you, because if this happened...
No, he's right.
I don't want the whole group to go down.
Alande looks at you, like, actually, Oscar, roll a deception check real quick.
Boy golly.
Let's see, what's my deception? Ooh, I got a +2 in that. Fuck yes!
Hi.
Show me the money! Fuck!
Is it a 1?
It's a 12.
It's a 12.
Yes.
Alande looks at you and is like, "Don't worry, my large friend. You're in safe company here. I don't get into skirmishes myself. There's no need to protect your friends."
Sorry, man, you just look edgy, so I had to make sure.
It's part of the persona. I come from a rough area to the west, in what used to be the dwarven stronghold of Ebonheart.
Well, back to after all that jazz. So back to this virus. My mother, she's deathly ill with something that's striking the north like wildfire, and she's bedridden. Her skin and Goliath were gray. Obviously, you can see me in front of you, but she's starting to turn almost opaque, like a white, and it's starting to make the elders curious of my village, and we don't know.
That sounds like frost fever.
And then, honestly, I was somewhat blamed for it.
Oh, nonsense.
See,
what you describe sounds like frost fever. The skin turns white.
Mm-hmm.
That occurs all over the place, especially here in the north.
We had a completely opposite name, haven't we?
Well, out of character, what did you call it? I know
hellish. I said hellish virus.
I know that's what the Goliaths call it, but Alande says, "I like your name a little bit better. It brings a little bit more urgency to it."
Mm-hmm. Now, none of the ingredients for a cure could be found in my village. I walked way outside the lands that we are able to go from our village, and I haven't found anything until my banishment.
There used to be a how do you say, apothecary to the west in what is now the ruins of Mistmire.
Mm-hmm.
They had these crystals and mushrooms in the caves beneath. that was used to make a tonic of sorts, an ointment.
Mm-hmm.
It was what's that name? And I'm gonna pronounce this wrong because it's something along the lines of Kikotone's ointment, I believe. I believe it was named after the original
Yeah.
inventor of it.
Yeah. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Like, mind you, Oscar has a plus like 4 in medicine, I believe, or plus 3.
Oscar, you roll me a medicine check real quick.
Okay.
Let's see if this roll will determine if you've actually heard of it or not.
Let's
Put
close
that
out.
+4 to use.
Let's see. I got plus 3 in medicine, so.
Okay.
Come on, big roll.
All right, 14.
Fair enough. Okay. So, Oscar, you do recognize the term. You remember hearing tales of it, reading it in some of the books that you have. What few books you were able to get. A lot of the books that you had were old medical tomes that you just found here and there.
Mm-hmm.
They're not in the greatest of condition because your people don't really care much for book knowledge, so to speak. They're more word of mouth. But
Yeah, I know. I think I have it in like my backstory somewhere, like in depth, that I like checkers.
Yeah. And you remember, though, that there was a physician in the kingdom of Revni called Keotomes.
Yes.
And he used to have an ointment that was said to cure any disease, not cancer, no, but like actual sickness. Something about the properties of it. No one knew the specifics of it, but many physicians speculated that it had, it was imbued with magical powers or something.
Mm-hmm.
But that since his passing, the secret was lost, and there was only a finite number of jars of it left in circulation. But hearing Elandi speak of it, saying that it was actually produced to the west a little bit, kind of piques your interest a little bit. But Elandi does tell you, my friend, that ointment is very sought after. And I know many have tried to venture into the ruins of Mistmire, but I have not heard of any of them returning. And those that do speak of undead and ghosts. And with as many that go in there, I fear that those numbers are gaining some, how do you say, magnitude.
Yeah.
If you really want it, I definitely say you need to prepare yourself for a hard, long fight. And if the other gentleman that you came in here with is what I think he is, you should be a little bit more more well equipped than many of young adventurers who have gone into the depths of the Mistmire. But he also says, but there's also, this is even more rare, but there's an item. It's known as the Night Hag's Heartstone. I've heard rumors that it could cure anyone of any disease a lot better than any cleric or paladin. But I haven't heard of any covens of hags recently. The last of them were rooted out during the Great War.
Yeah.
In fact, I think the lady standing up on stage, her and her little troop, helped root out one of the last ones in the south. But anything that was taken was most likely given over to the military as per their agreement.
Right.
But if you ever come across a night hag, definitely look out for her Heartstone.
All right, so question to DM.
Yes.
The I work for the military, right?
I don't remember what your background was.
No, I
Hold
mean
on.
like I'm currently like I'm helping Jenkins, who's in the military.
No, Jenkins is no longer in the military. Jenkins,
Okay.
after the war, he and Eldon and many others they didn't want to re-enlist. And Jenkins is actually a part of. Let me actually get his character sheet up so I can tell you correctly.
Because yeah, Eldon found love, and so he didn't re-enlist. He was like, peace later.
Yeah, most of the Asimar were essentially kicked out and taken their stuff taken, not because of anything ill, but just because their services were no longer required.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Jenkins, it's actually part of the Mages Guild of the different keeps. So they're more like the Mages Guild. He's different sects. He's part of the merchant side of it. He handles the caravans. The movement of items, materials to the different kingdoms. So.
Okay. Well, thank you for the info.
You're welcome.
This leads me to another question.
Yes,
What's happening in this village?
Oh, there's many things happening in any village in Revney.
You know.
Oh, you're talking about the rumors of the vile nature and the rumors of the undead again.
They're not rumors, are they?
Nah, there's always been undead that walk the earth. People are just paranoid is all. Mostly because people like to spread rumors like wildfire.
Well, then what's causing the beasts and the animals outside to be loud?
No one knows. The only thing I can hear talk of is it's either something from one of the... I honestly don't know. Because every rumor I hear is more outlandish than the next. Some say that the Demon King is making his return. Some say that it's some evil druid or wizard or necromancer just having fun.
Yeah.
Who's to say? It hasn't interrupted my business. So, until it does, it's no problem of mine.
Right. Can I, hold on, is this a weird thing to do? Can I can I do, an Arcana check on his wrapped hand to see if he has, something magical, underneath it, like a glove of some sort or something?
You're welcome to give it a try.
Or, see if he is magical in some way? Or do I just, assume that?
You could probably assume it, but go ahead and roll an insight check real quick.
Insight, okay. I still think that's a -3, but I don't. No, that's a plus. That's a +1. Sweet! Roll.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Oh, another 14.
All right, so as you've been talking with him and you've seen him flip it, you notice that his fingertips are exposed from the bandages. And every now and then some of the joints kind of come and the fabric moves a little bit. And what you see is burn marks underneath his arm, underneath the bandages. So you could probably, knowing your medical background,
assume it's burns on his hand.
It's a severe burn. But strikes you as a little odd because you know that there's many clerics and many ways to heal a typical burn.
Alandi.
Yes, my friend.
What's wrong with your hand?
Oh, this. He kind of holds his hand up, and he starts unwrapping his hand a little bit. And he holds it in front of you, and you see a severely burned hand. You don't even know how it's really moving right now.
You know I have 2 friends that can cure that, right?
Oh, I've had many opportunities to get this thing healed.
It won't
No.
cost you, just a spell slot.
No, it's.
I don't even
This
have to
is
use
a
a spell
reminder.
slot.
He goes on his reminds. He's like, this is a reminder not to fuck up.
Mm.
And it also helps to
You know,
scare
there's
away.
there's ways of doing that, like tying a string around your finger, like writing on your hand. Like you don't need to burn your whole hand for that.
Oh no, this is a result of me
Mm.
fucking up. I
Gotcha.
crushed the wrong person, and it's a reminder to be careful.
Mm.
It's kind of like my own badge of honor, so to speak.
It's understandable.
I
Thought
made a
I
deal
just-
I just made a deal I shouldn't have, is all.
Yeah. I just thought I'd toss out the heel if they were willing to.
It's much appreciated, my friend.
No problem. I'm
Now
trying
he looks at you, say, now I've indulged your questions.
Mhm.
I have a question of my own.
What's that?
If you decide to go into Mistmire,
Mm-hmm.
there is an item there that I've been trying to get my hands on. I could
Yeah.
care less about the ointment or any treasures that might lie, but there's an item down there that I've heard rumors of. A book, per se,
Mm-hmm.
that I have a buyer that would pay handsomely for it. If you come across a book with a green leather, red trim, gold edges to it, I would be willing to pay you handsomely for it.
Deal.
You don't even know how much I want to pay you for.
It doesn't matter. I'm buying powdered alcohol anyway.
Priorities,
Yeah,
man. Priorities.
He laughs a little bit. So it's like, well, if you find the book, please let me know. You could either find. I will be around.
I'm going
If-
to backtrack just a second. How much was on the table for that? Because if I'm risking my life, I deserve a little bit
If-
more than you think.
If you already are going down there, it should be among the libraries beneath.
Yeah.
So, if the libraries are not damaged in the fall, but
Mhm.
my buyer is looking to pay something around 1,000 gold pieces.
God.
I'd be willing to split that with you, 60-40, and give you 400 gold pieces for it.
No. This is a 50-50 thing. I'm going in there and I'm in my life. You're not.
He holds up his hand. He said, I make the deal here. Yeah, I answered your questions. I gave you more. In fact, those answers I gave you usually run people 20 gold apiece. I am doing you solid here. 400 out of 1,000. It seems reasonable to me.
Mind you, Oscar's face just went like. I don't even know how to explain it. He's like very pissed off, but he knows he can't say no.
Bring the book or not, it matters not. If you go, you will have a chance to find that medicine you look for. It just would be a bonus for you and a bonus for me, if you were to happen across the book.
Okay, you got yourself a deal.
He reaches out with his right hand, with the bandages still off, and let's shake on it.
Is it like goo? Like DM question? Is it like gooey? Is it like
No.
really nasty?
It's like a long kill.
Or is it like scarred? Like yeah,
it's straight scarred up.
okay. All right.
All right.
I shake his hand,
All
and
right.
Oscar as I don't know how to. Well, I'll start off by this. Since he didn't drink the ale, Oscar just pounds down the other one.
I knew it. I knew
Of
it.
course he does.
All right, how many have you had so far, Oscar?
I'd say 4.
All right.
4
Okay.
pints.
Okay.
Because it was 2 prior to this, then it was the 1 during the conversation, and then he just pounded down that one.
I don't know, man. He said you brought over a pot of ale, not a pint. You might be pretty well lit at the moment.
I said, if you go back to the recording, I'm pretty
He did
sure I
say
said
pint.
pint. I
know.
say pint.
I know.
So,
All right. So as you two are striking your deal, Oscar, you see Eldon making his way across the tavern. Let me change mouses. And you see him kind of just walking around and goes to the bar.
okay. Am I able to signal Eldon, like, we good, like, A-okay, like, thumbs up under the table?
Because obviously
Roll a,
Eldon's going to be...
Roll a stealth
Curious.
check, Oscar, and Eldon roll a perception check.
I don't know, I've been failing hard on perception. I'm kind of fucking
Stealth?
scared.
Ooh, you gave me my +1 in dexterity.
Anybody ready for a
Roll
0?
Sleight of hand.
Oh
You
my
said roll
god!
Sleight of hand or or stealth?
Nope, sleight of hand, because
Oh,
you're
no,
trying to
what
be
just
stealthy
happened?
about it.
I'm
Stealth
retiring
is
from
trying to-
D&D.
Don't retire.
Wait,
right.
what happened?
Alright, I gotta re-roll
Eldon
it.
kills
well,
himself.
Actually, it
No,
doesn't
you-
even matter.
It doesn't matter. Still a +1. As long as you're not proficient in sleight of hand, it's just gonna be your +1.
I'm not proficient in
Okay.
sleight of hand. I'm proficient in stealth.
Okay. Yeah, stealth is if you're trying to hide in darkness or hide your entire self from someone. Sleight of hand if you're trying to make a subtle movement of some kind, like you're trying to pickpocket someone or make a gesture.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. So, you let me roll something for Alonde real quick. Yeah, Alonde
I suck at
doesn't see you
perception.
make any movement. Eldon is too focused on trying. Not
So
to
wait,
look over
Alonde
at-
didn't see me?
Yep, Alonde did not see you making a
Okay.
gesture, but Eldon, he's so focused on trying his best to look inconspicuous because he doesn't know that Alonde knows that you two are friends yet. So he's looking stoically away, and he goes to the bar without seeing you. Thumbs up.
Well, my friend, it's been nice talking to you.
It's been an honor, my friend. Stay safe, happy travels, and remember, if you ever need a question or need an item that's hard to come by, my door is always open.
Do you have like an email I can get back to you, or like a phone number or something in case I find the book, or can I? Do you have even like a traveling pigeon? Like a messaging pigeon?
Phones with far speech exist here.
Oh my
All right,
god.
that was not that really didn't happen. Anyway,
He does
Oscar's
let you know. Alonde just says, if you find it and you would like to trade, I got little ravens across the area. Just keep a lookout for if anyone sees you with the book, they will notify me and I will find you.
all right. Is it safe to say I'll see you in this town often, or you just around?
I'm around.
Okay.
I might be here 2 weeks from now. It might be a month. Who knows? I like to travel. This
Well
place is
then.
beautiful.
I will. If I find the book earlier, then I'll carry it with me until I see you next.
Very well. Sounds like a good deal.
What's this book about? If you don't mind me asking before I leave.
He looks at you and he's like, I honestly don't know. The client asked for a book by a specific description, and he told me where it most likely is, and I just haven't gotten around. I just got the request last week, and I
Do
am.
you? You might not like share this information, but who is this client? I'm not going to jip you and take it straight to him. I truly trust you, and I shook on it. I don't break promises, and I'll even sign a contract on it. I don't give a shit. Anyway, I just want to know who this client is, because if this book is something more dangerous than Demire, then I don't want to take that risk.
If you find the book and you determine it is evil, you can do what you wish with it. We never signed a blood contract, so this is a verbal agreement.
Okay.
I will still have my own looking for the book, but I don't trust them as much. They're weak.
Okay.
If
all
you
I
don't
need.
find, if you don't find it, you don't find it. Our client just, well, it seems like he's putting out feelers, and I don't know who it is, but the word in the black market in Ebonheart is someone really wants that book.
Got it. Have a good night, Orlando.
You as well, my friend. In here. And he tosses you a small little pouch. It's it's a little. You open it, and it's 1 serving of powdered alcohol.
Oh dear God.
I can just imagine Oscar immediately eating it.
Oscar tears up a little bit.
It's just like he looks like, now don't. I suggest mixing that with liquid the first time at least, just to know if you think it's worth buying from Hubert.
You got it. Thank you.
If you really want to try powder, though, let's just say I have heard of those who've been desperate. It's not as good.
Okay. How about snorting it?
Wow, we're going straight to cocaine level.
He looks at you like, there are many drugs that you can snort that I would advise you to get into before starting this.
Understood. Thank you, Alon. And thank you for the powder.
You're welcome.
That just mixed alcohol with drugs. Like you didn't just mix them together, you fused them.
Good job, Oscar.
Alright. I go and well, you know what? I don't say anything to I'm okay, buddy. I don't say anything to Eldon, like, conversation-wise. I just tell him, it's all good. I'm going to bed because I feel like I can sleep. And I'm out.
Alright, before you do that...
Is there something you had in mind, like, that I should stay for?
Not... Personally, it's up to you. You can do what you would like.
I honestly... Just based on how Oscar is, this is the first time he's going to be able to sleep. So he's, like, excited to fall asleep.
Okay. Alright, so, while you're talking to Eldon, you see a tuft of brown hair come towards you. And you see someone hop up on a box and lean up on the table. Let me see if I can get a picture real quick, because apparently I did not put her...
Mind you, I put down like 3 or 4 shots before that conversation with Elande just so I can be in the fucking mindset of what Oscar would have been.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh my god.
That a boy. That is called commitment.
I had to be the character, so I had to drink. God damn it.
Eldon
This is
is
gonna be
watching
every-
this puff of hair thinking maybe he's had too much to drink because he doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
Alright, give me just a second here.
Take your time.
Alright, so, over the counter, you see a tuft of brown hair, and up on the little box, you see a short dwarven, I think dwarf, hold on, let me check my notes real quick. What is Jasper? Where is she? Okay, she is...
Oscar immediately
Yep,
regrets what he
she's-
said. He said, "Thanks, bud," and then he turns and looks, and his eyes get really wide.
You see a little halfling woman jump up on the box and it's like, "Gentlemen, can I offer you Oh, hold on. Let me try to do a better voice. Let's see. So, she has a slight, for your reference, she has a slight Irish accent. I cannot mimic it, and I'm not going to try. But she jumps up and said, "Boys, can I get you anything else to drink, or have y'all had enough for the evening?"
You know what? Now that you say that, I'm not ready.
Oh no.
Can I get a glass of
water?
glass of water?
Well, certainly, dear. And she turns and
No
hops,
cucumber.
hops in
Bye.
the back. Hops in the back. Comes back a second later. Lays you down a big mug of ice cold water.
And Oscar takes the bag, opens it up, and then just stares at the powder bit. And he looks at Eldon and he like points at it and like mouths the words.
The Jasper is like, "Is that? You have giant powdered alcohol." She's like, "Can I have a little sip?"
Ooh.
You can have a sip. But you know, I've been waiting for this moment for the past maybe like 3 hours. In actuality, I've been waiting for 2 weeks, or a week, I mean.
Eldon starts poking Oscar. Oscar, that's so
Alright.
cool. You got to give her some.
Okay, look. How about this? Bring me 2 empty glasses. And
She immediately jumps down and runs back.
All
to the
right.
back and
While
brings
she is
out
gone,
some
no, hang on. Let her be gone for a second.
Okay.
Oscar, what do you think of this guy down the table from you?
seems like a charming fella.
He has a hawk
Talking
on his
about-
shoulder,
Talking about this guy.
Yeah.
He's got an owl on his shoulder.
or an owl.
Sorry.
Oh, you're talking about the dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you talked about the owl.
Oh.
So, this is what Eldon is looking to. You
Yes.
look over and you see a young man with
Very handsome man.
with platinum blonde hair and a white owl on his shoulder.
Oh my god.
So Oscar, I'm gonna hang out with you for a minute, and then I gotta go talk to this homeboy here. 'Cause
Alright.
I got
I love
questions
him
for
already.
him.
I love him already.
But as I remember correctly, before I walked over here, Ink got all fidgety about a book. So I want to see what she does before I talk to this guy.
All right. So, the Jasper comes back, lays down 2 empty mugs down on the table. So, boys, let's have a round.
All
Yeah.
right.
Let's do it. And so what Oscar does is he pours the alcoholic powder into his glass.
Okay.
And then he disperses it not evenly, like his is just slightly taller.
Mm-hmm.
And
Understandable.
he blames it on the ice that's in the glass.
Of course.
And he says, well, the ice is kind of making it a little uneven, so...
She's like, "No, butter. I just wanted to taste."
Okay. Well, cheers, my friends.
Clink, clink, clink. And
Clink, clink.
she takes a sip of it, and you see her kind of swish it around her mouth, and her eyes go wide. And she swallows it, and she's like, "That... no, I don't have words for it. That's amazing."
Oscar, what have you done?
Honestly, it's too sweet.
And it tastes... Oscar,
No, explain
it,
Explain
it
the
tastes-
taste, please.
it tastes just like the best apple cider you've ever had.
Oh, God, now that you say that.
Oscar has just changed his mind and realized he was a little too tipsy to appreciate it.
Oscar is never too tipsy to appreciate alcohol.
But go ahead, you both. I want you to both roll.
Oh,
perception
this
check
could
for
be
me
good.
real quick.
A perception?
Yeah.
Perception, fuck.
Great. I've already lost. I actually might as well just give me a 0.
Perception. It's +1.
Holy fucking shit! I see the
Hey,
world.
both see it.
Okay, so both of you. first of all, Eldon, you
Yes.
notice that it smells like alcohol, it tastes like alcohol, but it didn't, and it burned like alcohol going down.
But it's not
You do
alcohol.
not feel any drunker.
Oscar, this is not a fucking
noticed-
joke.
I
This is
noticed.
not funny.
Sam, hold on.
No,
Eldon,
Sam.
Eldon. I have company in front of me. Don't talk to me like that.
No. No, this is serious. You never come between a paladin and his liquor.
We're Goliath from the Logger tribe. Jesus Christ.
Alright, Eldon uses this as his excuse to storm off and get closer to that guy.
All right.
Except
so
he's
move
going to go
over.
further away, because he's going to go over to, like, this pot right here. Right there, yeah.
So now Oscar, mind you, when he walks away, now since he realized too, based on that 17, he realized that he might be able to start doing that and not drink to change because of how him and Eldon drink. It's like an alcoholic change. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, Oscar, with your medical background, you get the feeling that this is a
Like a medical treatment for alcoholism, or
no,
just
not at all. It's to give those who want alcohol but need to keep a clear mind.
okay.
Oh, snap.
So it's purposely designed to take out the bad effects while leaving all the good.
Okay, can I just ask, did I drink my whole glass? Because I did fill it more than they did, but I can't picture Oscar not drinking the whole thing.
Oh yeah, you downed it in one go.
Okay.
Good job, man.
I was like sitting there like, I could have gave Onai this because it's non-alcoholic.
You could have.
It still would have, to her, it would have tasted alcoholic.
She never said
like,
that it was the flavor. She said it was
True.
the alcohol.
True. But for all intents and purposes, like, it's like this is kind of like the stuff that kids, that people would
It's like-
take to parties and say is alcohol, and then watch.
Oh,
people just-
duels.
Yeah,
Oh, duels.
essentially like that. Yes.
Okay.
But it's derived from true giant alcohol, and so there is a very prized liquor that they have that they don't share.
Mhm.
So people have taken it and have mimicked the taste, but someone took it a step further and made it to where it's non-alcoholic, but it tastes like alcohol.
Am I able to... Well, hold on. If somebody took it a step further, does that just mean the bag that Alandi had was different from the one in the shop?
You don't know. You don't know.
And then my second question, since it's... You said it's Giants Ale or Goliath?
Giant.
So, do I... am I familiar with the taste?
Slightly. You recognize it comes. There's. You've had it once as a child. There's a apple that grows in the far north in the glass, to where very few ever get it because the giants do not like people coming into their territory.
Okay.
But you've had it. Your father gave you a slice of it once. That an entire apple is shared among a family.
Okay, so I explained that to Jasper, I guess. Oscar's drunk. He doesn't know.
She's hanging on to every word that you say, and it's just like, maybe one day I can buy that from Hubert.
Maybe one day I could take you past there because I technically am from up there.
Now, you know that the giants, not even the Goliaths, mingle with these giants. They're massive storm giants that would rather...
You see, Oscar has... He knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy's cousin. Okay? Like... doesn't mean he knows how to get her up
knows
there.
another cousin who knows some guy's aunt.
He doesn't know how to get her up there, but he does say that he Yeah, I can try. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going up there for a book. I'll come back with a nice, large apple for you.
She's like, I look forward to it. And then she turns around and goes back to serving other patrons around the bar.